So yeah, you know what time it is. It's time to continue this tomfoolery. Anyways, John, might as well check out the crux shooter. Oh, hell no. You put this thing in front of the door? There's a door there? Yeah. I didn't see it. I just thought it fit nicely into that groove. You mean you thought it was elegant? Okay, well, what do I do with this thing? Hello? What are you doing up there now? Oh, fuck. John, examine the wheel on the crux shooter. When you turn the wheel, something seems to be pushing up from underneath the lid, but you aren't strong enough to make the lid come off. TT, put bathtub in hallway. On the tub's journey to the driveway, the connection is interrupted. Connection lost. John, scold TT. You can see me, right? Tell me what is wrong with this picture. Sorry, I keep losing the wireless signal. Must be the weather. I would look for a stronger signal in another part of the house, but I'd rather not risk an encounter with my mother. I battled through a cloud of gin and derision once already this evening. Yeah, I hear you. Yes, cake, gestures, unfaltering love and support. Quite a road to hoe there. Though I suppose I'm complicit for not informing social services about your situation. I know. What about going outside? I mean, you should catch a neighbor's signal. That presents the same problem. Also, it's raining, warmer, and dark. It's dark already? Yes, the sun has already had its way with us here on the East Coast. Its lurid glare has moved onto younger time zones. Okay. John, uh, hit corkscrewdriver with sledgehammer. Need some help? DD, pick up sledgehammer. And what this? Whoa, do a shine. What that? What is this thing? And what is the clock counting down to? I've been looking at the GameFAQ walkthroughs to figure out some of this stuff out. Hold on while I read further. Okay? All these walkthroughs are extremely short. None progress much further than this point. Weird. Well, I mean, it is a new game. True. Now, the lid is off. You will need to extrude some cruxite. John, turn wheel again. You extrude one cruxite dowel. Get cruxite. John. I feel like we should be hurrying. That countdown is making me nervous. John? Oh, your BDA is trapped under the cruxite. No, isn't it? Anyway, it looks like you're going to need this card too. TT, deploy pre-punched card. John, get card. A shred of glass is expelled from the deck and maims the Harlequin doll. John, capture all fanciful Harlequins. Yeet. You take 2 fanciful Harlequins. The additionally useless freight pushes your PDA to the last card. You then switch to the Q modus so you can access the PDA. More glass shrapnel flies from the deck. What the shit is this thing saying? Anyways, this thing keeps following me around. I think it's trying to talk to me or something. That is probably the kernel sprite. It apparently needs to be prototyped. Twice, actually. Whatever the hell that means. These walkthroughs are horrendously written. Okay. You are the one with the cursor, so just do whatever you think is the right thing to do. Also, fix my bathroom. Lol. TT. Drop a main Harlequin into a kernel sprite. Sound. The kernel sprite has been prototyped with the Harlequin doll. Still can't understand this thing is gobbledygook. That was only tier 1 prototyping. There's still another tier to the prototyping process, which for all we know merely advances this entity through increasingly esoteric states of linguistics. The clock is ticking. We don't have time for this asinine tomfoolery, this unmitigated poppycock, extravagant hogwash. Okay, stop. Stop typing whatever silly thing you're typing. I'm going upstairs to the big platformy thing. The alchemitter? The alchemitter? I don't know how to say that. Question mark, question mark. Try to learn the lingo. John, use pre-punched card with the alchemitter. I'm gonna say it like that. There is no slot for a card anywhere to be found on the alchemitter. The Colonel Sprite followed you upstairs. TT, explore Athenium. Acquiring a quartzite doll seems to have populated the Athenium with one item, a perfectly generic object. A green cube. John, capture log telescope. Oh no. You snatch the telescope from the tripod. Who knows, it might be useful. But more importantly, it pushes the quartzite to the last card, making it available for tinkering. The PDA is predictably jettisoned into the yard, over the neighbor's fence. John, put quartzite on weird pattern on alchemitter. You place the quartzite dowel on the alchemitters small pedestal. Something is happening. It do a thing. You get the alchemitter to cast 3 perfectly generic objects. For some reason, expending a total of 6 units of Vilgrith. These things look so completely useless. What a waste. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice there's something in the sky. John, switch modus and use telescope to inspect sky. You switch back to stack modus and get a closer look with your telescope. Whatever it is, the Colonel Sprite seems particularly agitated about it. Oh no. You're no astronomer, but its trajectory looks suspiciously head-on with your current perspective. This is a troubling development, you don't say. High five, Colonel Sprite. You figure you've left him hanging long enough. Well, John, attempt to ingest a unit of bilgrist. It is tempting because they strongly resemble rock and blue raspberry gushers. However, units of bilgrist are a gaming abstraction and do not seem to exist on the physical plane. There's apparently no crisis so imminent that will deter you from contemplating idiotic and frivolous actions. Your dad is getting home. John, what did you do with the PDA this time? I'm working on the bathroom, but we're running low on bilgrist. TT, revise bedroom. That's a bit unfortunate, but whatever. What the hell happened here? It says John's father or something. I don't know. He doesn't say things. John, run to your room and contact TT through Bester Chum. 2 chums have been trying to message you. I'm working on the bathroom, but we are running low on bilgrist. Oh man, who cares about the bathroom when there's a meteor headed for my house? I see. Do you suppose it has anything to do with the game? I don't know. Maybe. What do I do? I think it's very likely. The walkthroughs vaguely suggest an impending threat before the end. The already poorly constructed sentences become even more curt and ambiguous, as if written hastily and with a sense of alarm. Actually, their dedication to updating the walkthrough under such circumstances is admirable. Wow. Fascinating. If the meter is a game construct, I think the only thing to do is proceed and try to solve the dilemma on the game's terms. Try using the lathe. It says you can use the card on it, but it isn't more specific than that. Okay, I'll do that. Really, it is a labor to read this drill. If I read any more, my brain will need to be spoon-fed. From a jar, while it blows spit bubbles in a high chair. I think I'll write my own walkthrough. That is, after we make sure you don't die.
Turntek Godhead has began. Turntek Godhead began pestering ectobiologist at 1734. I heard you got the box. I appreciate my heroic fatherly perseverance in getting it to you. I'm my rough and tumble, in my rough and tumble, dirty wife beatery sort of way. Also, I hope you appreciate how many no-talent douches had their mitts on that bunny before you. It's like a grubby baton in some huge marathon. Hey, where are you? Oh man, the bunny was awesome. I don't have time to talk. I'm playing Suburban, it's kind of a nightmare. Diddy is breaking everything in my house. Dude, I told you to steer clear of that game. And for that matter, you should probably wash your hands of flighty broads and their snarky horseshit altogether. And now there's a meteor coming, and I'm not even joking about that. I think it's like a big asteroid or comet or something in the sky, headed right for my house. Oh man. Wait. Oh man, how big is it? I don't know, big I guess. I gotta go. We'll talk later if I'm still alive and the earth isn't blown up. Like the size of Texas or just Rhode Island? They're always throwing around these geographical comparisons to give us a sense of scale, like it really means anything to us. But it's like it doesn't matter. It's always just like, wow, that's pretty fucking big. Like, Mr. President, there's a meteor coming, sir. Oh yeah, how big is it? It's the size of Texas, sir. Oh shit. Or how big is it? It's the size of New York City, sir. Oh shit. Sir, I'm afraid the comet is the size of your mom's. Oh snap! Sir, are you familiar with Jupiter? You mean like the planet? Yeah. Well, it's that big. That sounds pretty good. Big. I have a question. Is it Jupiter? Yes, sir. The Earth is literally under siege by the planet fucking Jupiter. Oh shit! Anyway, later. Man, this Turntek Godhead guy. What a base man. You used to each punched card on total math, John. You slip the pre-punched card into the slot on the total math. Above, the tool arm deploys a configuration of chisels. Now you just need something to lab. Take Crockside and to Totem Lab. John. Cursing your lack of foresight, you return to the balcony for the Crockside towel you left on the pedestal. You navigate the hallway leery of your dad, who is presently puzzling over the new fixture in his hallway. The perfect crime. You retrieve the Crookside doll. Dad just rugs and heads back downstairs, presumably to do some more baking. If only you knew you were hard at work saving his ass. You use the Crookside doll on Totem Lath. You clamp the Crookside in the lath. Activate lath. It does a spin and now it's shaped. The lath carves one totem. You take the totem. Alright, I used the lath to make the blue shapey thing. Now I guess I take it back to the alchemitor again. Hello? Tentacle therapist is no longer connected. Internet bailed. Oh shit. The clock is ticking, boyo. A young lady stands in her bedroom. Due to a violent storm, her house has just lost power, along with her wireless internet connection. This has severed her link with a popular video game she is playing with a young man at a critical moment. That young man is relying on this young lady to reestablish a connection somehow. This young lady is named. It's on the tip of your tongue. What was the name of this young lady again? Enter name. Flighty Broad. No, that wasn't it. That's kind of funny. One more time. Rose Lalonde. Petite smile. Examine room. Your name is Rose, as was previously mentioned. You are without Your name is Rose. As was previously mentioned, you are without electricity, although your laptop computer still functions on battery power. You have a variety of interests. You have a passion for rather obscure literature. You enjoy creative writing and are somewhat secretive about it. You have a fondness for the bestially strange and fictitious, and sometimes a dabble in psychoanalysis. You also like to knit, and your room is a bit of a mess. And on occasion, if just the right one strikes your fancy, you like to play video games with your friends. What will you do? Rose, retrieve arms from the purple box. The purple package's contents are private. No one is allowed to look inside. Rose, writhe like a flagellum and puke on your bed. What a terrible idea. The thought alone makes you sick to your stomach. Ugh. Rose, stroke writing journal and mutter, my precious. You would only resort to such embarrassing activity while no one is watching. The journals are for your eyes only. Rose, get violin. You capitalize the violin, storing it in the root card of your Siladex. S. Rose, play a haunting refrain on the violin. Play it.
Let's check it out. You waste approximately 40 seconds playing the violin while your friend is in peril. Nice time management skills there, sweetheart. John, tell Tyler you love her before impact. Since your good-for-nothing friend is obviously not going to bail you out in time, you issue words of parting fondness to dear sweet Liv. Oh, if only Affleck could have been the one to make the final sacrifice instead of her stubborn blue-collar sod of the earth father. Then she would fall into your arms for consolation, and you would be the one to make the deceased Bruce Willis proud. Rose, capture log knitting supply bag. You get the knitting bag. It occupies the left leaf card under the violin, per the tree's moduses. Per the tree modus's alphabetical sorting method. K is before V. Rose, lookout window. Some shit is there. Oh no. Pardon me. Your panoramic window offers you a view of your yard below, and the mausoleum housing your dead cat, Jaspers, who died when you were young. Your mom had the structure erected with a spirit of scornful irony in response to your youthfully innocent request to hold a funeral for the animal. At least that is how you have come to interpret the gesture in retrospect. You can also make out a silhouette of the laboratory next door, a facility which likely broadcasts a strong wireless internet signal. You may be able to connect to the signal from a different part of the house, perhaps if you seek higher ground. Rose, get laptop. Oh dear, my dog appears to be barking because it probably saw a cat outside. And never mind. You take your laptop and prepare to make the journey through the house. L is before V and L is also before K. This causes the tree to be unbalanced, so your Siladex auto-balances itself. Now the laptop occupies the root card, while the other two items comprise the leaves. K is before L and L after K, I believe. Whatever. Rose, examine book on desk. Grimoire for summoning the zoologically dubious. This book is absolutely indispensable for enthusiasts of your ilk, of which there are very few. Take a book. You take the grimoire. G before L and G before K. Rose, go explore the house. You leave your bedroom. Hanging just next to your door is the hallway of a paint. In the hallway is a painting of an exquisite wizard. Your mother collects these awful things ironically.
She must know how much you detest them, and there is no doubt in your mind she stores these dreadful things in the house to bother you. Down the hall to the right is the way to the observatory. Perhaps you will be able to connect from up there. Your mother's room is also in that direction. You will have to watch your step. Rose, tiptoe to observatory. You approach a juncture in the hallway. Beyond the juncture is the observatory. Rose, sneak by. Quite sneaky. She faced. Oh my god. Never mind. This door leads up to the observatory. You haven't ventured up there in quite some time. Rose, go through door. The door opens to an exterior walkway leading to the observatory entrance. You have seen less inclement weather before. Oh, the things you'll do to help out a friend. Rose, hurry up to that observatory. Rose, try to connect. You first put your laptop down on the floor to get it situated, but removing it from the root car causes all the branches and leaves to be severed. Your items are dumped unceremoniously on the floor. See what you can observe. Rose. She looking from the telescope. Oh no. You're in a hurry, sure, but that doesn't mean you can't take a moment to peek through the huge telescope. You find a gap in the clouds. It seems a flurry of smaller meteoroids is streaking steadily overhead. You're not sure what this means, but it's somewhat disconcerting. Rose, stack laptop on Grimoire to maximize elevation. Perfect. You'll need every advantage you can get. Rose, access laboratory Wi-Fi network. There are several signals being broadcasted from the laboratory, each of relatively decent strength. One of them is a mysteriously and quite conveniently unsecured signal, requiring no password. You select the signal and reconnect to the game with John. Of course, it's signal number 413. Next. I'm back. Hurry up and open my door. Not that it even matters. I think I'm probably dead no matter what. Patience. You still haven't used the new totem. Huh? I believe it. Create the item on the punch card. So what? So what good? So what is it? Like an apple or something? What good will that even do? We'll see. I found no evidence that anyone has successfully created the item, and the content of the card appears to be variable from session to session. In one instance, it was described as an eggy-looking thing. Sick. What does that even mean? Anyways, eggy-locking thing. Do you even have enough of those building jewels to make it? According to the Athenium, it is a free item. This speaks to its importance, in my view. Now off you go. Rose, remove door from hinges. There goes the rest of your build grist. Put bathtub back. You probably should have just done this in the first place. John, take total math alchemitor. Gotta get those stupid blocks out of the way first. The Colonel Spy is getting awfully worked up about all this. Rose, remove blocks. You store the perfectly generic objects in your Fernalia registry, potentially to be deployed at a later time. John, take a bite of apple. Sound. appears in the future, but not many. A wayward vagabond records a stirring step in the sun-bleached dust. Act 2. Let's see here. Verbatim FAQs. Walk through this technical theory saying that way the poop to chaos, blah blah blah. Pause the screen and read it yourself. I'm not reading the walkthroughs. I will not. Just do it. Anyways, sound. Next.
With that. What are those? Next page.
The kernel divides. The two halves go their separate ways, leaving behind the sprite portion. Boy. What is left of the sprite undergoes a mysterious transformation. For a moment, you thought you heard someone say "boy," as if whispered in the periphery of your awareness. It was probably just your imagination, though. Sound. You there, boy.
Oh, Kurt. Let's check it out. To walk around, use the mouse, arrow keys, or WASD keys. Click on various objects to open command menus for them. Outstanding Flash Programming by Alexis Gancro. Alexis Gancro, Beingessner. This is a large platform. Good grief, what is this? The Alchemist created the apple, or the tree that sprouted it, rather. Right on time to save you from destruction. You're not sure if you can say the same for a neighborhood, though. You wonder what happened to your dad. You there, boy. What? Door. Boy, open this door and walk through it. I think that's what it says. Boy, listen to me, boy. His name is John, you nincompoop. Use this to reseal that opening there. If only putting the leg back on the crux shooter would undo all it's done. Alas, Pandora's tube has been opened. Interesting. Quite interesting. Here, boy, go in here. Look here. It's dark out there. Can't see anything for miles. Piano. What is this? Ink, blood, or oil? 52 card pickup. Lol. Return to the large room with her gross painting. This way, through the doors like you see in a cowboy salon. Open this door now. Exit, boy. Admire the wall-mounted gadget. Through some mysterious force, your house still needs to be powered, even though the wires are severed. Even though the wires are severed. Quite bizarre. Bizarre. Oh, look, there is claim the dangling tree bubble. Something. The trick handcuffs are still there. Thank God. And no, you are not gonna try to claim them just now. What the shit is that? Control T? Yeah, we're not gonna do that again. Yeah, never mind. Boy, quit all this scurrying around. For the last time, this boy's name is John. Fine, John, return to your quarters. You got back up to your room, tiptoeing around this weird petroleum-based sludge. Hmm. John, respond to your friend unit. John, are you there? Technical therapist is now an idle chum. Hey, yeah, I'm here. And not dead, I think. I know. I've been watching you scramble through the house like a lunatic. You should have answered me sooner. Oh man, sorry. I was looking around for my dad, and I can't find him anywhere. Have you seen him? No, I'm sure he'll turn up. We have more important things to address right now. Yeah, like where am I? I don't know that either, but I've determined your neighborhood was destroyed by the meteor. Oh dear, sorry. Wherever you were transported, it saved you from the impact. I've been reading reports in the news over the last few days. There have been many smaller meteor collisions with people's homes around the world, and they seem to be getting bigger, as yours was the biggest they've identified so far. Wow. Okay. So I guess if this is all the game's doing, the point of this for us, wait, I can't read. So then I I guess if this is all the game's doing, then the point is for us to save the world. Perhaps. Then we'd better get moving and figure this game out. Yes, but wait. But wait, there's more. We should retrieve your PDA yet again. It will help to keep tabs on each other while you investigate. I think I can get you closer to it if I can replenish our grist supply somewhat. There may be a way to recycle some that we already used. Okay? I'll meet you on the balcony. Wait, Rose, one thing. What? You never even wished me a happy birthday. Hello? I was working on something to send you, but I was running late with it. I didn't want you to think I believed meager well wishes alone would suffice for the occasion. That said, happy birthday, John. Oh jeez, that is silly. Anyway, thanks. First, take the fabric item on the floor there. The towel? Why? Oh well, you're the boss. You kept calling the towel. What now? Do as the purple text says. To the balcony. John makes his way to the balcony per your awkwardly recorded request. Wait, take that, the blue wobbly thing. You whimsically decide to capture the totem, which was used to create the apple tree earlier. John, recycle the grist as was dictated by your cohort. John cannot do anything with the grist as of this moment. That is up to the spur player. I see. Next. Yes, that will suffice. Rose deletes the perfectly generic objects. 6 units of bill grist are restored to your grist cache. Rose expends the grist to drag a new plank from the balcony in the direction of the PDA.
John, John, run across precarious platform swiftly.
John isn't sure about that. It's a long way down.
Boy, I should make haste on the narrow catwalk. John is very nervous about the idea, and the strident tone of your commands are starting to
Make him a little upset.
Fine, proceed as your level of comfort dictates.
Him done it.
You cautiously walk within the range of the PDA. Rose receives it. Now take it.
Oh dear, that harlequin appeared to have been yoked.
You grab the PDA, launching one of the harlequin figures into the night. You can guess that one goodbye. Just one next command will suffice. Thanks. It looks like you're not the only one trying to locate your father after the disaster. These boarding men are uninteresting. That is best chum. Yeah. Tap tap tap. John, are you okay? You seem a bit tentative. I'm fine, I guess. Since I got here, I feel compelled to do these weird things I don't really want to do by some kind of voice I can't really even hear. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Perhaps the early symptoms of an anxiety disorder, like post-traumatic stress. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Well, if you can pull yourself together, there are a few more things we should try, like prototyping the kernel sprite again, if possible. We should hurry. My laptop battery won't last forever. Okay, I'll go back inside. No, don't do that. Hop off this ledge onto that car. What? No, that sounds incredibly dangerous. Next. Now you're just being a pest. Which turnip truck did you tumble out of anyway? Who are you? Years in the future, but not many.
An unsealed tunnel welcomes hot desert air into its stagnant depths. Let's check it out. No, not that. Damn it. Anyways, next. Oh my god. Listen, I appreciate you're doing this in-game facts shit, but I'm not reading this. I read this the first time I read Homestuck, but just pause the shit. Whatever. I'm gonna read it. Whatever. Upon connecting with the client user, you, the server user, will be met with a control panel allowing you to manipulate your co-player's environment. You will find that you are allowed to deploy 4 items at no expense. Three of these are rather large machines, and one is a punched card. It's quite possible that you have already deployed some of these items before reading this. If this is the case, and you have activated the machine called the correct shooter such that it displays a countdown, you must proceed to section A100 of this walkthrough immediately. The life of the client user depends on it, and if your co-player has activated this device in your environment too, then yours does as well. But if not, please refrain from doing anything with the correct shooter aside from merely deploying it. This will buy us some time to think things through properly, and to go over the basics of the game before you find yourself easily punctured head in the jaws of the lion. As mentioned, there are 4 items to consider, each playing a role in a process which appears to have a singular purpose: to manufacture objects out of thin air, and the designers of the game, judging by the language used, regard this process as a sort of alchemy. This may allude to complexities in the production process yet to present themselves.
But for now, the variety of objects you are able to create remains quite limited. The items in question are the cork shooter. Again, tread lightly with this one. The total math, the alchemitor, and the pre-punched card. I will describe how these devices work in conjunction with each other, and I will use the analogy of having a key made at a hardware store to help you understand. First, deploy all of these objects in convenient proximity to each other. Be sure not to block doors or pathways with them. You can always revise the dimensions of rooms to make space for them, but I'd advise against this, or even experimenting with a function. Doing so comes at the expense of build risk, a commodity which appears to be at a premium at the onset, and one you'd be best advised to save for later. The crock shooter. Removing the lid signals the moment of your life becomes a great whirling batshit pandemonium, somewhat resembling the chaos of an especially ethnic wedding. Somewhere, a South uncle deliberately shatters china on the floor. Muddy livestock is decorated and then lost track of. The question, "Whose mule is this?" at times can be heard over the din. This is now your reality. But aside from that, it marks the beginning of the process I'm about to describe. The countdown begins. Yes. Also, an entity called the kernel spite is released, but neither of these things are at all that relevant to this process. To my knowledge, more on these things later. What is relevant is the unlidded cork shooter's ability to dispense quartzite dials. It will dispense at least one, though I suspect it is capable of producing more, given the parameters I'm not yet familiar with. In my key-making analogy, these dowels represent the uncarved pieces of metal which the hardware store employee retrieves from a drawer or a rack, and sets about carving into a key. The two following items are needed to do the carving. The pre-punched card. It is a simple Celodex card containing an item. There is evidence to suggest the specific item it contains is variable from session to session. The card I deployed contained a blue apple. Yours may be different. It shouldn't matter, hopefully. Additionally, the card, as you may guess, is punched, like one used with antique computing systems. The pattern of holes comprises data, which I believe corresponds to the instructions for creating the item in card the item the card contains. I cannot read. That that it is pre-punched suggests there is a way to punch an unpunched card, possibly imprinting it with the data for the item it contains, though no mechanism for this has presented itself yet. But the data on the card cannot be used to create the item directly. There is a middleman. That middleman is the total math. The total math. This is essentially the key carving machine. It will carve into inner quartzite dowel a pattern of grooves and contours, the sort of which makes a key unique. The instructions for this pattern are supplied by the punch card, which is inserted into the lathe pre-activation to configure its chisels. Once the dowel is carved, you have a totem serving as your key, which can then be used to unlock the card item through the alchemitor. But at this point, I will diverge from my key making analogy and switch to a barcode analogy, which is not a terribly strenuous leap to make, since the concepts of a key and a barcode are essentially the same. One being a unique pattern of grooves, the other of varying black lines. Anyways, the alchemitor. If you place a quartzite dowel, carved or uncarved, on the alchemitor's small pedestal, the robotic arm will scan the contours with a laser, hence the barcode analogy. This is the machine's way of reading the data originally imprinted on the card and transforming the data into a physical object.
Though typically this is not done without expense, I believe.
An uncarved dowel results in the creation of a perfectly generic object, which is a seemingly useless green cube. It costs 2 units of build grist to make, and I do not advise you to waste resources on it. There appears to be many other varieties of grist, ostensibly used in combinations to create different sorts of items, which possibly offers some insight to the game's use of the term alchemy. But quite conveniently, there is an exception to this. Creating the item on their pre-punched card costs nothing. This is good because creating this item turns out to be essential. Now that you know this, you can in your own time begin the process. Once you initiate it, naturally there is no going back. So best to be prepared, but you probably shouldn't drag your feet too long. As I mentioned earlier, this is your only means of escape. When you're ready, be prepared to follow the steps in the next session swiftly. So your crux is sticking. Do this to live. Blah blah blah. Oh my god. In the distance, meteorites fall with greater frequency. The fire in the forest burns so hot, not even the rain is putting it out. Rose, check status of battery. Your laptop battery is all right for now, but it won't be for long. If the power in the house doesn't come back on, you can think of at least one resort: the small backup generator stored behind the mausoleum. Rose, prototype sprite with Betty Crocker box. What? Oh man, you're going to use that? That sucks. What a stupid idea. We have to hurry along. I'm running low on battery power. But the cake mix. Ugh, that's so dumb. I doubt it matters. We might as well just use any old crap lying around. Fine. I guess. The sprite is playing hard to get. You guess that's what you get for originally prototyping it with something that engenders mischief and pranksterism. Do the potted vegetable instead. It looks delicious. Pipe down, you. This is Rose's decision, not yours. Rose, prototype the sprite with Sasker's text. Oh yes, sweet. Now we're talking. See if you can distract it. I'll try to sneak up on it. John, flail about in a distracting manner. The sprite finds the distracting manner in which you flail about to be rather distracting. The pesky sprite will lose you again. Not even the great Colonel himself can outfox it. In narrowly missing with your attempt to create the Colonel's. You. I don't like you, hussy. Anyways, you drop the massive till. The entire house rattles under the astonishing girth of the book. In the other room, Nana's ashes dump into the sprite, which is caught unawares by the dousing. Inspect Hag Ash incident. You find the sacred urn toppled again. This time you're quite sure it wasn't your fault. The sprite is nowhere to be found. Rose, remove Crux Shooter from a doorway. Oh man, where'd it go? Oh man, where'd it go? I can't find it anywhere in the house. No time to worry about it. The next thing we should do is get your server copy of the game from the car. You need to connect to my client so I can repeat your steps and presumably join you wherever you are. I should do this quickly before my house burns down. Wait, there's a fire? There will be soon. Oh, jeez. So move this thing already. It looks like it requires a lot of risk to move. So I don't have enough to relocate the door either. How much do you have? 0. Oh. I thought about jumping to the car from the ledge earlier, but that sounds really dangerous. I have a better idea. Meet me upstairs. Do as the people would say. You're about to head upstairs, but you thought you heard something behind you. It was a faint but you could swear it was a small, light-hearted chuckle along the lines of a spirited ho ho ho. Ignore this woman's antics. You're not sure you even saw one any of her hypothetical antics, but whatever it was, you might have caught a glimpse of it. Sure gave you the willies. You head upstairs on your way to the balcony. Your PDA is acting up again. Indulge the device. Be curt with it. Hey bro, check it out. I'm working on some new rhymes. Dude, I don't have time for your nerdy raps. Come on, this is hells of ill. Just listen. Sounds like you don't even believe me that I was about to get blown up. But I really was. But I really was. But now I'm in some weird dimension that Suburb sent me to or something. And now on top of that, I think I'm being haunted by my dead grandma.
Huh. For real?
It's true. But I'll talk to you later about it.
I think I could drop some sick rhymes about all this.
Man,
Man, see, I just don't think the rapping stuff
is really as cool as you think it is. No, this'll be dope. Check it. No, I have to go. Bye. Hey, wait. Armageddon's getting waged on us, but I'm getting armed and dangerous. Sending men in space for saving us.
see which play is more courageous. Better Bruce dudes reach truce,
But they're blow shits to use us.
and up and suck it. Affleck sacrifice. I mean, sacrifice would I have to suffice. I'll fuck it. Bro be stained glass. Shit.
I apologize for the pause. Anyways, let's go back. Let's go. Let's repeat the rap again. Armageddon's getting waged on us, but I'm getting armed and dangerous. Sending men in space for saving us. See which player is more courageous. Ben or Bruce does reach a truce, but their blow shoots to use and upsuck it. Affleck sacrifice. Sacrifice. Would have to suffice. I'll fluck it. Bro be a stained glass saint up on a cross getting hella Christ plagiarist. Bruce is like off of that crucifix. Enough of this fucking save fuss. Restrained his ass permaclean redux while Buscemi remained dangerous. When I'm playing gone astray, pays off wasted creators, ass tracer to layers to Matt McConaughey's vague reminder dust. Wait, McConaughey wasn't even in any of those meteor movies, was he? I'll have to make a rap about it. I'll have to make a rap about, I don't know, Morgan Freeman or something being president. It'll be called "Obama Made It," so that so that no one gives a shit about black presidents in movies anymore. See, you've got to fill me in on what's going on, so I have something to rap about besides all your dumb shit movies.
Enough strange poetry from the red text.
This guy, this turn tech godhead guy, I swear, he's the best one. You head out to the balcony to find out what Rose has in mind. She is messaging you again.
The purple text is less irritational than the red text.
I'm lifting the car up to the balcony. Whoa, okay. Once it is up, retrieve the game. Then I'll put it back on the driveway. But the door is locked. I'll then break a window. But it's my dad's car. It's just a window, and this is sort of an emergency. Otherwise, I promise I'll handle the car with velvet gloves. All right, Rose, pick up car.
Connection lost.
Shit happens. Oh my god. That is kind of funny. Ridiculous folly. Inexcusable. You're inclined to agree, but hey, accidents happened. You double check your PDA to make sure if Rose is really gone. Indeed, this seems to be the case. TG is still pestering you, of course, but another chum is logged in as well. What color are the words that this chum says? I'm back. Oh hi. I went to investigate the explosion I heard. Was it by any chance a meteor? Yes. How did you know? Oh man, it's kind of a long story. Anyway, are you okay? Did it blow up your yard or start a fire or anything? No, I'm fine. It landed a pretty good ways from my house. I went to look at it, and it's pretty big. But Beck doesn't want me to go near it, so I came home. He seems to think it's dangerous. Well, gosh, he's probably right. Anyway, what have you been up to, John? Oh, did you get my package yet? Uh, yeah, I was trying to get it, but Rose dropped my car into a weird, spooky, bottomless pit, and the package was in the car, and I'm really sorry about that. Oh no. Okay, I guess I should start at the beginning. See, a meteor blew up my neighborhood. That's terrible, John. I'm so sorry. But I'm okay. My house is too. Sort of. That game I was telling you about, Spurb, which I was playing with Rose, sort of transported me somewhere at the last minute. But now I'm trapped here, and it's weird and dark, and I can't find my dad, and I just lost the car and my copy of the game in the pit, and I think I have to save the world from the apocalypse. Well, it sounds really crazy and kind of scary, but it also sounds kind of exciting. I don't know, John. Maybe this is your destiny. If anyone can save the world, I think it is probably you. Probably you. Wow, you think so? Yes. Well, okay. But it's not even that simple. I was about to connect to Rose to help transport her and save her from meters and fire and stuff, but she lost her battery power and I lost the game disc. Oh my god. So I think I have to get TG to use his copy to save her, but that jackass won't shut up and stop rapping and stuff. He's so silly. Yeah. Anyway, I should talk to him about it. So BRB. The green text was attractive. Now view the red text again. When the film crew zooms where the president said, I'm like, if there was back, I'll eat my hat. Turns out he is a sort of like damn director's got gumption, like we'll all flip our shit and shine our shoes or something. It's called free emancipation. If it's not a election, it's got ascension. In Bruce Almighty, it whoops different Bruce from the one I just mentioned. Ah! It can't explain to me why this ain't consensual to think I'll shit a brick. Not even can he can not even he can convey the intention with his quick spun wit. Rather defray all of this tension shit sit on his lap while he whittles his plan. And some guy eyes what he does and patronizes. I guess negrosity is the mother of invention. Stop rapping for a second, you horse's ass. I have something important to talk about. What's up? Rose is in trouble and she needs help. I was going to connect to her with Spur, but I lost my copy. Okay. Also, she lost battery power. If she can get back up and running, she'll need someone with the game or to get out of there before her house burns down. So I think you should use your copy of the game to help her. My copy? That's gonna be tough. Why? I lost it. It's a stupid story. I'd rather not talk about it. Should be embarrassing, yo. I thought you said you had two. Well, yeah. One's my brother's copy. Okay, well get his then. All right. But he's not gonna be happy about that. Whatever. Also, you might want to read Rose's walkthrough to get up the speed on this. Oh man, what? Nothing really. Look, all I'm saying is the girl tends to lay it on kind of thick, Rolls eyes. Anyways, next. Your laptop is out of battery power. There's one thing left to do. Time to get your way to that backup generator.
Rose, knit laptop cozy to shield your laptop from the rain. Very good.
That would be such a waste of time. Besides, you already knitted one a while ago. You retrieve it from your
Knitting bag and apply it to your laptop. You capture the laptop plus cozy. Rose, equip grimoire to strive specimens. That would be incredibly ill-advised. There are some dark forces who just don't want to mess around with. You understand this better than most. You put the book down. Some spooky shit. Rose, recapitulate your items. You grab the knitting bag and the grimoire in that order. It's always a logistical puzzle with your tree modus. The tree auto balances, leaving the knitting bag accessible in the root card. Rose, allocate knitting needles to strive specialist needle kind. You feel a lot more comfortable with this as a weapon. You're so handy with those needles. You feel like you could probably use them to fillet a swordfish. You lose the root card in the process, severing the tree. Hey, careful with all that stuff. Rose, knit plush, cuddle Cthulhu to soothe nerves. That would be a preposterous waste of time. Besides, you're quite sure you've never heard of this creature called Cthulhu before. There are, however, many other specimens of the zoologically dubious you're familiar with, such as Rose, consult grimoire. Flusulu, foul patrician of misery. You hear his mammoth belly gurgle. To hear his mammoth belly gurgle is to know that the epoch of joy has come to an abrupt end. And no big list. Shame beast king of grotesquerie, writhe lord of the moist beyondhood. Hearing his melodious chirps and tongue clicks causes one's bones to explode. And of course, there's Oglogoth, the deep one. Whenever he grinds his teeth, all of the children of a random galaxy somewhere will frown continuously for a 9,000-year span. He's the first and smallest of the smaller gods, appointed in servitude of a vile, unfathomable pantheon of middling gods, which caters to the whims of the noble circle of horror terrors, an omniscient, omnipotent order of the elite crew, forever cloaked in the darkness of the furthest ring. And then there's this strange page containing some rather mysterious notes on summoning procedures. You've never been quite sure what these diagrams are getting at. Those are windows. Those are literally windows. Whatever. Rose, take items and proceed downstairs. You recapitulate everything the way you want it to appear in the tree and head downstairs. You figure that that's enough dilly-dallying. Time to get a move on. S. Next. You wonder if the Swain will ever let up. It's driven since the month began, perhaps long enough to forget its purpose. It no longer even knows the Swage fire. Somewhere a zealous god threads these strings between the clouds and the other, preparing for a symphony it fears impossible to play. And so it threads on and on and on, delaying the rays of the conductor's baton. How you hate this season. April is the cruelest month, breeding lilacs out of the dead land, mixing memory and desire, stirring duller roots with spring rain. American sports legend Charles Barkley. Rose, confront mother in hall. Surely your mother is lurking nearby. You should be prepared for an unpleasant confront. What? This is a really cool dude, okay? He's standing around being all chill, like cool dudes are known to do sometimes. A cool dude like this probably has a really cool name, but he probably wouldn't just tell you what is if you asked. He'd be way too busy for that. He'd be way too busy for that. Busy being totally sweet. But he could always try to guess his name, and if you were right, he might nod ever so slightly. That is just a cool dude's way of letting you know there might just be hope for you yet. Enter name. Insufferable. This guy doesn't have time for this sort of bullshit. Try again. Dave Strider. Examine room. Your name is Dave. It is an unseasonably warm April day in your bedroom. Your name is Dave. It is an unseasonably warm April day. Your bedroom window is open to let some air in, and your fan is cranked. Arguably, even more cranked would be your fly beats, which brings us to your variety of interests. A cool dude like you is sure to have plenty. You have a penchant for spinning out unbelievably ill jams with your turntables and mixing gear. You like to rave about bands no one's ever heard of but you. You collect weird dead things preserved in various ways. You are an amateur photographer and operate your own makeshift darkroom. You maintain a number of ironically humorous blogs, websites, and social networking profiles. And if the inspiration strikes, you won't hesitate to drop some fat rhymes on a mofo and represent. What will you do? Dave quickly retrieved our arms from cinder blocks. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think that ought to do it for now. Yeah, I think that ought to do it for now, at least. Pretty good.